What's up, nerds? So I just finished the third episode of Agatha All Along. And I want to be honest with you, the episode was decent, you know? I mean, it was like, I don't know. The funniest part of it was the Sharon Miss Hart character. But I mean, like, was it bad? No. Was it great? No. I mean, this show is not a Marvel show. I'm just gonna say that it's not a Marvel show just because it's got Agatha in it. I'm like, it's not. It's like a witch show, and it's fine. I don't when I watch it, I'm not sitting here going, I hate this. You know what I'm saying? So that's a plus. Okay. I am gonna do this little. We're gonna go through this episode and everything. But they did drop some stuff, yeah, and so I want to talk about it. You know how it is. So yeah, let's just get started on this. Okay, so last time we left off, right? They are on the Witch's Road now, okay? And they're just walking along. By the way, the Witch's Road looks gross and they have no shoes on. You know, I never understood people that just be walking outside without their shoes on. I'm just like, ugh, you know, but hey, whatever. Anyways, so they're just, in tune with nature. And they're just walking along. And by the way, teen, I want to be honest with you guys. I don't have any problems with the actor, but this character is quite annoying. So I mean, like, I don't get like I get some people are just gonna be like, he's great no matter what, but this character is freaking annoying. He's not gonna die. I'll share some stuff with you about this at the very, very end. But anyways, okay, let's do this. So they're going along, and Mrs. Hart here is like, this is the worst party ever. And they're all like, she doesn't have any powers. And then they're talking about how Teen says something along the lines of it's witchcraft, emphasis on the craft part. And they just talk about how you don't need your powers because you have, like this. How did he put it? Where you write stuff down and you learn, like the one here that does the potions. She can make the potions or whatever, but she uses her powers to do everything at the end and whatnot. Okay. So then they're going through, and then what's her face goes off, Miss Hart. She like bonds. So they're sitting here chit-chatting, right? Okay, so Teen, right? He tries to say his name to these people, right? Okay. And they see that he's been not bound, because that's what the black lady is, but she's got some kind of he's got a sigil, right, on his mouth, so they can't see his name either. But then she's like, no, witch folk can see it. And I'm all like, well, why don't you guys just get Miss Hart back over here and have him say his name to her? Although it's Billy. Let's just be honest. It's Billy William, if you will, because he's Wiccan. He's Wiccan. They've had some promotional material where he's got like blue magic. And if you know anything about Wiccan, his magic is blue. Like his hex powers are blue. So I'm like, you guys are giving it away. Plus, I want to share something at the very end, again, spoilery, but so I'll tell you when to bail out if you don't want to know spoilers. Okay. So she's all like, we got to get down the Witch's Road. All of you want. So she's like, you want to be unbound. You want, your fortune. You want your fortune. She's like, you want to find out what happened to mommy, and then she's like, Miss Hart and everything. So she's like, where's Miss Hart? So Miss Hart, she's going off into the distance, and she loses her bag in this mucky muck stuff. I'm all like, what's going on here, honey? She's sinking. And let me just tell you right now, she was very calm for sinking into some, petrol and everything. Like, I would have freaked the fuck out. I would have been way like, save me kind of thing. But she was all like, and then she's like, this is the worst party ever. And I'm like, you're right, sweet sister. It is. So they see their trial. So they see off in the distance this beautiful house. Let me just tell you right now, this is very, very, I've been watching on Netflix lately the new show, The Perfect Couple. And as soon as I saw this, I immediately thought of that, because I'm like, oh, of course. So this is very like the Hamptons, like that kind of thing. So, but this house is nice, right? So they go up to the house, right? And this is the first trial. So this sigil right here, they said it's the moon. So this was like little plaque or whatever. It's the symbol of the moon, and the moon is full or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they say. Don't get on my case about not remembering exactly what they say. Some of you are such petty little bitches. Okay, so anyways, so she's all like, what's her face is all like, well, we shouldn't surprise anybody. And she rings the doorbell. And I did like this because Catherine Hahn was all like, she's like, we don't want to surprise anyone. She's like, don't we? And I was like, that's good. I like that. Real quick, don't surprise people. I don't like it when people just randomly show up at my house and they ring the doorbell and they're like, oh my God, we came to visit you. And I'm all like, oh my God, I'm outside doing yard work. Now I have to go shower because I'm all sweaty and you're here fucking around. I'm like, ugh, you're trash. Anyways, so they go in and this house, and they look great. This is very Crabtree and Evelyn. Like, if you don't know all that bullshit, it's just like very like so crazy. And they get very rich white people, like very liberal white people, real fucking quick. Anyways, so they talk about how the trials, they'll have each trial for each witch, right? And so here he is. By the way, if he's not gay before, he's definitely gay now because that shit, I do not like his. I would not wear that sweater. Anyways, it looks so thick. Now, the whole time she is looking, Agatha is looking for a way out of this house. I have thoughts about this. And then there is a theory about Billy, the teen, that I saw online that's interesting, but I don't know if I want to get into it because I hate theories now, which WandaVision fucked my shit up with theories, and that's Jack Schaefer's fault because she's trash. Anyways, I like this line. She's like, I look like one of my customers. I'm like, but you look good. Which I just go, do what? Your customers have hair? That's how you look like one of your customers? You have hair now? Anyways, so they get this invitation, and I liked how Catherine Hahn, Agatha was all like, is it a wedding or God forbid a baby shower? Let's just say right now, I don't like baby showers because they're for women, A, and B, you know how you get those ones where it's like, this baby shower is for men and women. And you're like, why would you do that to me? I don't want to go to your shitty baby shower. Why would you do that to me? They're reading this clue. Okay, of what the thing is. Riddle is it ends up being wine. I don't remember what there's something about like you don't drink it alone or some crap like that. So anyway, so wine appears. And Miss Hart's going to drink it. They're like, don't drink it. You know what's going on there. So they're like, but that's the test. We have to. Now, this part right here, she goes up to Billy and she's like, you need to watch yourself around Agatha. He's like, yeah, but it's because you all hate her. She's like, yeah. But then she says, yeah, but did you know she traded her son, aka Nicholas Scratch, for the Darkhold? And she's like, is that true? And she's like, well, that's the rumor. And I thought that, and she's like, he could be, a lost soul or a demon or an agent of Mephisto. Now, if you remember correctly, in WandaVision, there was all these theories about how Mephisto was going to show up because Mephisto is a huge part of Wanda and the twins being created. Now, I want to just get into this real quick, and then I'll leave you be, and I'll tell you this theory that somebody came up with on the internet. Okay. So Mephisto, he was in a battle, right? I believe it was with the Fantastic Four son. What's his name? Their son. And he loses. He gets blasted into 6 pieces. The 6 pieces get scattered over the earth, right? And then Mephisto, one of the pieces, his soul gets in. So one of his pieces of his soul, he gets brought back to life through that, his consciousness. And then he's not at full strength. So then there's a car accident with this famous actor in it or whatnot. And the famous actor loses an arm. And then he's all like, listen, I'll help you and everything, but you're going to help me out. And so he heals his arm or whatever. And it's all gross and everything. And he becomes a bad guy. I can't remember the name of the bad guy. And then he's like, now and he tricks him and says, your pieces of your soul have been scattered over the earth. You need to find them, aka find the pieces of my soul, fucker. And so 2 of the pieces were created the twins. And Wanda knew all of this when in the comic books, from what I remember. She knew all of this. Like she knew that and everything. So the Mephisto gets his body back, and the twins go away, kind of like they did in this show, but not with Mephisto. So the theory is, I'm sorry I'm taking so long with this. So the theory is, in the first episode, Agatha mentions there was a car accident, something about a car accident in Easttown, where Billy here, teen, is from, and said that in the car accident, they only found one person, and then there was two airbags went off. Okay. So people think that when his boyfriend called him, the boyfriend is looking for teen Billy. Okay. And something about how the body, the soul of Nick, the body, and this is Nicholas Scratch. This is her son. but the soul of Billy went into the body of Nicholas Scratch, aka combining Agatha and Wanda together through this child. Like they have a connection now, not just through the fact that they hate each other, but through this kid. And that's the theory. It's a good theory, but I just don't care. All right, now back onto this episode. Sorry that took so long. I won't take too much longer of the episode. Okay. So let's see if Mephisto shows up. I doubt it, but I don't know. Let's see if Jack Schaefer has learned her lesson. She said she doesn't even know how to read comic books, and I'm like, left to right, like a normal fucking book, you idiot. Anyways, so they pour the wine. Miss Hart just downs that shit, which I get it, Sweep. She's like, don't judge me. I've had a long day. I was like, Sweet Pea, no judgment. I get it. Go get it, girl. So then they have 30 minutes to figure it out. So as they're like bottoms up, and the teen isn't drinking because he's underage, right? And so they're all drinking, and Mrs. Hart, by the way, pours herself a second glass. And that plays a part, I think, in this because, yeah. All right. So she drinks that second glass, and all of them drink it. And then he mentions her tattoo, and she's like, my mom made me get it when I was 13 because she said our families was the women in our family was cursed. And so she made me get it as a protection because it's a protection spell. And Agatha pours out her glass because she's like, I'm not drinking shit. I know what's doing here. A small piece of me wonders if Agatha really didn't finish the road the first time, that she cheated, because she mentions cheating a lot in this show when it comes to the road. And my theory about that is that the coven before that she took in before this one last episode I said that the 7 following her are really the 7 witches that she killed off in WandaVision in her past that tried to suck the powers off. Now my theory is that the Salem 7 is actually the coven that she left on the witch's road, and they want revenge because she fucked them over and cheated the last time she survived. That's just a theory. So then they're sitting there talking. By the way, she pours out the wine glass, but it just refills. Which I like that. It's very Harry Potter. Okay. So then they're sitting here talking, and I can't remember exactly what they said. So she gets up and she's like, I need. So she gets up. She is looking very much Donatella Versace in this shit. Like I'm all like, oh honey, what happened? Like and everything. So they all freak out a little bit. And then they all go swollen like this, like they've had too much plastic surgery. And she's like, I have jowls. I'm like, and then I like how she was all like, I don't hate it. And I'm like, what? So she's looking for a way out. And so their faces all go back to normal. And she's like, we've been poisoned with, I don't remember what the poison is or whatnot. So she tries to break the glass to get out and everything. And she's like, you didn't drink. And she's all like, I'm not drinking that crap. And she smashes the glass, and then it refills. This glass refills. And she's like, drink it. She's like, if you don't drink it, I will. And she's like, no. And I think that says a lot about Agatha, that she won't let the teen drink it. Like she has a motherly protectiveness about it. That's why that's probably Nicholas Scratch or / Billy. I don't freaking know, dude. Show is like, when it comes to that stuff. So she's all like, so right here she goes, what did she say? Something about like, Wanda, please don't, or something like that. I can't remember or whatnot. And so they go into the kitchen and they have to find all the ingredients, right? So she says the ingredients, and she says like the eye of newt, which ends up being mustard seed, the pancreas of a man that's been dead for 30 million years or something like that, which ends up being petroleum jelly, like, and everything. So we'll talk about that. And then they need honey and eucalyptus. Okay. I don't remember. Frankincense is eucalyptus, apparently. I don't know all this. Listen, don't ask me all this herbal shit. I don't know. Okay. So they all set off to go get it. And she's like, there's the cauldron. I'm all like, ugh, and everything. I'm like, that's not a cauldron. It's a sink, honey. So they go to get and these are all of her products. So then she's all like, this isn't all natural. And I'm like, that's funny. That's funny because it's probably true when it comes to stuff. So they go in here and they find eucalyptus, but she sees some like mist or whatever. And they all start hallucinating, right? So she goes and she sees this dude and everything. And then she sees this girl right here, right? Now I don't know what time period this is, but I'm just assuming it's like that Victorian age, maybe. I don't know, but it's some kind of Spanish thing going on because I think it's Spanish or like Italian. It's one of those two. You know what I'm saying? She sees her mother because she mentions her last performance, I believe, the performance where she got a tattoo, right? She's like, Mom, are you real? Now, this guy right here, I can't tell if he's a priest because of this collar right here or if he's a doctor. Like, I can't tell because he's wearing this doctory kind of apron back from like, what is this, the 20s? I don't know. He's like, you are an inconvenience or something like that. Now, I think this is the time when she got bound. I'm very interested to see what happened there. I'm interested into seeing what happened. Like, I don't care about Patti LuPone's character and what happened with her, but she goes into this little room, right? She's flicking a lighter and she's like, I felt it when your grandmother died. Will you feel it when I die or something like that? I can't remember. And she's like, I can't protect you. And that's why she made her get the tattoo. And then she drinks a poison. And then she goes in here. She sees this little woman. And I don't know what's going on here. And then I can't remember what he says. Maybe he's got to be a priest, right? Yeah, he's got to be a priest. Okay. She tries to drown down her. And then Patti LuPone is like some kind of like thing, but it's got a death mask or like a skull or whatnot. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm pretty sure we'll find out. So then they all get together and they realize that that crack is the water's coming in. They're under the ocean, right? And they're like, how long do we have? And they're like, I don't want to find out. So they throw in all the crap, right? And it's pink, and they're like, it has to be blue. And they're like, all right, now we need to so they combine all the ingredients, right? Oh, it needs to be heated. So because and he gets this little thing. He's like, it's my dad loves it. And I'm all like, oh, this is very gay. I don't know anything about this shit. And she's like, you turn it counterclockwise with your dominant hand. And then this is where Agatha sees a baby crib. And then when she peels it back, it's the Darkhold, right? And I'm all like, ooh, she must have traded her kid for the Darkhold. And so they all put their hair in and it doesn't. And she's like, now we all need to have the same purpose. And the purpose is to not die. And it turns green. And she's all like, what are we missing? What are we missing? And then so she pulls her aside. She's like, I don't have any power. She's like, listen, I've always hated you. And she's like, if this is a pep talk, it's a shitty pep talk. And she's like, but I left you alone because I knew you were doing important work. And she's like, what are we missing? And I was like, that's pretty good. I wonder what she was doing that got her bound / not be fucked with things. She's like, you need the blood of the one that didn't drink the poison. And so she cuts his hand and she's like, I'm glad you're underage, kid, and everything. Cuts his thing and it turns the color that they need, the blue. They all drink it and they've got like 60 seconds on the clock. And they've got to give a dose to Mrs. Hart. Now, the thing is, Mrs. Hart drank 2 glasses of wine. So she drank double the poison. So therefore, because if you notice, there was only enough for each person in the room. So including teen. So she drank 2, but she only got 1 dose of the antidote. So I think that's why, spoiler alert, she's dead. So then as soon as that's done, the oven pops open and they're like, well, us witches got to climb in this oven. And Patti LuPone's like, I'm not getting in the oven. That happened to a friend of mine. She had a beautiful house. And I'm all like, huh, that's funny. Hansel and Gretel. So the water comes in and they all get in, right? They get Mrs. Hart. They slide through. And then they go down this water slide. And they're all like, yay, we made it. And they're like, Mrs. Hart didn't make it. Hold on, let me get it. Yeah, she's dead. She's dead. She's dead. And I think that's because she only got 1 thing of the poison. Or the antidote. Now, again, I don't really like. This is the thing. It's not a Marvel show, and I have a feeling if this was just a regular like witch show, like Sabrina or whatever, it would be like fine. But if this is not going to connect to the Marvel universe in any way, shape, or form, except for Wanda and the Darkhold, I go whatever. I did like, that they did Jennifer Kale. I did like that they kind of told us a little bit about the backstory of these witches, but at the same time, I just don't care. I'm curious to see where witches fit in the overall arcing MCU, because I'm all like, if you're not going to bring in Blade and you're not going to bring in, Midnight Suns and everything, then I don't understand this. It's all for naught. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't trust Jack Schaefer. She's, I just don't like her. I don't think she's that great of a writer. Like, this is all fun and everything, but so what? All right. I want to get into some spoilery stuff right now. Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw it. By the way, spoiler stuff right now. If you don't want to know anything, drop out now. I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out with me with this episode. I appreciate you. Yeah. All right. So I'm throwing it up here. But they just recently leaked the Funko Pops for this show. So as you can see from these Funko Pops, this is Wiccan, Billy. Okay, so, ipso facto, we all knew it was Billy anyways. Come on, let's not fuck around. We all knew it before the show even started that they were going to have Wiccan on this show. And he looks very comic books accurate, but I have to be honest with you, I never liked him in the comic book, so I'm pretty sure, and I already don't like this character. I find him quite annoying, even in this episode. I don't care how Crabtree and Evelyn he looks. Okay, so the next thing released was Death, and this is obviously Aubrey Plaza's character. And my question is it Aubrey Plaza's witch character the whole time? Is this when she gets onto the Witch's Road, because we know she shows up later on, is this Aubrey Plaza, or is it just manifesting into Aubrey Plaza? You know what I'm saying? Or is this, it's very I'm just very curious, but I find it very, very interesting that Death is the character. It'll be interesting how this all plays out. I just thought it was fun to show you guys. Okay, so, but tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Like I said, this episode was fine. I didn't hate it. I don't hate this show, but it's nothing great. You know what I'm saying? It's very mid, I mean, I would not, if somebody asked me if they should watch it, I'd be like, listen, if you're not into I don't know, the Witches of Eastwick, then don't watch it. But, and if this wasn't a Marvel show, I wouldn't even bother. I'd be like, nah, I'm not going to bother with it. All right, guys, tell me what you guys thought about this episode, and who is your favorite witch so far on the show? Tell me what you think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind if you're new to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Agatha All Along breakdown review. You guys have a good week. Bye.